So the first step to setting up WooCommerce on our website is simply to install the plugin and go through the setup wizard. So as I've mentioned, WooCommerce is a free plugin, so we can install the plugin directly through the WordPress repository. So in order to do that, hover over plugins and click on add new. And then we're going to get the WordPress repository interface with all the available plugins. And if we just type in WooCommerce and hit enter, it's going to bring it up, and it should be this first search result. And like I said, just look for that by Automatic, which is the development team behind WooCommerce, and click on install now. That should just take a few seconds, and then it's going to give you an activate button, and once you click that, it will bring you to the setup wizard. All right, so I'm just going to switch to this screen here where I have it set up already. So the first thing we're going to do is pick where our store is based, right? So this is where you are physically, or where your store is registered as a business. So just select whichever country applies to you. I am currently in the Czech Republic, so I'll just pick that. And then you put in your store address, and you can put in your currency. So if you're in the US, the dollar, the pound in the UK, etc. I'm going to pick the Czech crown. And then it's going to ask you what kind of products you plan to sell. And it's doing this just so it can set up kind of the initial configuration. If you're not selling physical products, then it will disable probably inventory and things like that. So I'm going to select that I'm going to sell both physical and digital products. You can select whichever one applies to you. And then there's a checkbox here that says allow WooCommerce to collect non-sensitive diagnostic data and usage information. And basically what this means is that WooCommerce wants to kind of track how well their plugin performs on our hosting and with our website and with the other plugins that we have. It does not look at your sales data. It does not look at your customer information. It doesn't look at anything that you wouldn't want them to see. It just looks at diagnostic information so they can use that to improve their plugin. So there's no real reason not to keep that box checked. I do recommend that you do, because they're giving us this amazing plugin for free, and we want to help them kind of make it better. But if you're not comfortable with that for any reason, just uncheck that box and then click on Let's Go. So the next thing it's going to ask you is what payment processors you want to set up kind of out of the box. So there are several payment processors that are available with WooCommerce. I think the main one that people are going to be using is going to be PayPal. So you can choose between the quick version of PayPal, which most people will be using, or you can pick PayPal Standard if you are more comfortable with that. And then there's the offline payment options such as check, bank transfer, and cash on delivery. So I'm going to enable all of those so I can walk you through the setup for each. And then there's the shipping option. So if you are going to be shipping, you can set up flat rate or free shipping. It's going to give you your main zone, but we're going to really do this during the shipping tutorial. So you can kind of just put in your basic information. And then so it's going to ask you within your country, within your area, are you going to be doing free shipping or flat rate, what that cost should be. So I'll just drop something in there for now. And then it's going to say for everybody that's not covered by zones, what are they going to be paying? You're probably not going to want to do free shipping. You probably do a flat rate of 50 or whatever it is outside of your default shipping zone. But again, we'll cover that in detail during the shipping tutorial. So just put in whatever makes sense for now. You'll be able to change it later. Then you're going to be able to select your weight unit depending on what your local measurements use, and the dimension unit, and then click on continue. And then there's some extras here for the storefront theme. We're not going to be needing this because we're going to be using our front end builders, and they all integrate very nicely with WooCommerce. So we're not going to need storefront, so disable that. And then there's automated taxes, which is powered by WooCommerce services, which is automatically going to calculate and charge the correct rate of tax for each time a customer checks out. So if it's toggled on, WooCommerce services and Jetpack will be installed and activated for you, and that's going to automatically calculate all of your tax rates. So this is a new service from WooCommerce, and it actually streamlines a lot of the more complicated things within WooCommerce. So as you can see here, it automates your tax calculations, but in addition to that, with certain shipping carriers, if this is enabled, it can also download the carrier rates automatically. So In the first video, I was talking about there are extensions available for certain carriers, and for some of them, they're already integrated with WooCommerce when this is enabled. So it can automatically grab those shipping rates for you. It can automatically calculate your taxes, and it can also, if you're planning on using Stripe as a checkout option, it can also help you set up a Stripe account and do some other stuff. So we're going to enable this for now because I want to show you that, and I'll also show you how to do it without this. All right, and then just click on continue. And there's a link below that button. Click on that and read if that's going to apply to you, and then you can enable it or disable it depending on what your needs are. So if you enabled that option in the last section, this screen is going to ask you to connect with Jetpack, and we can do that just by clicking on this button. And that's going to go through the service of connecting if you have a WordPress.com account, which is free to have. And if you don't have it, it's going to ask you to sign up. If you do have it, it's going to automatically integrate, as you just saw. So if you have to go through that sign up process, that's fine as well. The WordPress.com account is free, and it's going to help you to access different areas of different things. So you might as well just go ahead and sign up for one of those now. Then it's going to bring you back to this screen. Enter in your email address if you'd like to get updates about WooCommerce. I'm just going to delete that because I'm already on their list. And then there's some options here where you can create your first product, or you can import products through a screen, but we're going to forget that for now and just go back to our dashboard. So now WooCommerce has been installed and the basics have been configured. In the next series of videos, I'm going to go through all the different sections. I'm going to help you set up your shipping zones and your tax zones. I'm going to show you how to do it both with the Jetpack service and without. And we'll go through all the different areas of WooCommerce, such as setting up products. We're going to take a look at reports, setting up coupons, and a lot of other stuff. So check that out.